Hello everybody. Today I am going to show you the very basics of getting started with your machine. So, assuming you've taken your machine out of the box and you have that set up on your table, you should have two cords. One of them is going to be your power source. That's plugged into the wall and into the machine. And the second cord is going to be your foot pedal, and that is plugged into the machine and then resting on the floor. You're going to power your machine on, and when you do that, your display panel will illuminate and the light underneath of the needle will turn on. So to begin, most machines that I've sewn with, in fact all of the machines that I've ever bought new, came with a needle in place. So you should have your needle in place, and then the very first thing that you're going to have to do is wind your bobbin. So there may be a bobbin already wound in your bobbin case. If that doesn't have the right color thread, you could just unwind that and I will teach you how to wind your bobbin. So to begin, you're going to place the empty bobbin on the bobbin spool like that. You're going to take your thread, and I sew with Aurifil thread, and you're going to place that on the thread holder. And then following the diagram on the machine, I'm going to come around this little silver screw and then head towards the bobbin. Okay, every bobbin has a little hole in the top. You're going to come up from underneath and thread your thread through that little hole, and then position the bobbin back on the spool. Now, holding this thread very tightly, sorry, how to get my scissors. Holding this thread very tightly, I'm going to put my machine on full speed, and I'm going to press down on the foot pedal, engaging the bobbin. Did you see how I did that? I engaged the bobbin. I'm holding the thread tight, got the machine set on full speed, and I'm going to press down on the foot pedal. Now, as the string winds around there, you can stop and trim this thread, and then proceed to wind the bobbin until you hear a distinct change in the machine, the sound that the machine's making, and you're going to hear that next. Hear how it began to hesitate? That's how I know that that bobbin is fully wound. So I took my foot off of the, I call it the gas pedal, but the foot pedal, and then I disengage that bobbin, lift it off, make a nice clean cut, and then I'm going to come down here to my bobbin case. Now this machine is a Janome DC 2012, and I ordered that off of Amazon. I really like this machine. Been sewing on it for 3 years now, and it is a champion. To insert your fully wound bobbin, you're going to release the bobbin cover I'll show you that one more time. Set that aside. The bobbin's going to go into the case with the thread to the left, so that when you bring that through, there's a little channel right there. You're coming in between the two silver channels, and when you pull on that bobbin, it is going to wind counterclockwise. That's how you know you have it in there correctly. This thread just hangs out over the top, and you position your cover back on the bobbin. Now the next step would be to thread the machine. So here we have our thread, and it's still around the silver screw which we used to wind the bobbin. We're going to pull that out, and we're going to follow the second diagram and the arrows and the numbers, and we're going to come down this channel here, and up, and then through this side lever, an eye hole there, back down, and then underneath here, where you're going to come behind this little plate, and straight into the needle hole, or the eye hole of the needle. And that thread comes through that needle from the front, and it gets pulled out the back. So you can see you have your bobbin thread here and your needle thread here. Now you're ready to do a test stitch. Anytime I thread my machine, I do a little tester stitch. I'm going to be using a straight stitch, and this one that's illuminated on the control panel corresponds with the one here, which you could tell from the graphic is a straight stitch, which is perfect for this, and is going to be perfect for all of your sewing projects. So to begin, you're going to take a scrap piece of fabric and place that on your sewing deck. Over here you have a lever. Right here it's black on the side there. Can you see that on my finger? I'm going to try and come around and show you that, or turn the machine around. There's a little lever back here, and that raises and lowers the foot of the machine. Okay? So before you can begin sewing, you absolutely must lower down that foot. It's a safety issue. Some machines won't even let you begin sewing with the foot raised. So we have our fabric underneath our foot, we have our foot down, we're on a straight stitch, and we are going to position our foot pedal so that we're comfortable. And I'm going to adjust this speed here on my machine to medium, and I'm going to begin sewing. Now you can see how that's kind of curling up in the back. If you stop and lift that up, you can get those threads out. Set that back down. This is just a tester, so it's all right. That's the purpose of doing this test stitch, is to make the threads happy. And that's lift up that foot. I'm going to pull the threads out. There's a little cutter here on the side of my machine, which I like to use. I'm cutting both threads and then positioning those together on the side. And that is important when you cut your threads. Get them both together and just pull them out a little bit so they hang off the edge of the machine. Now let's look at this stitch. So you can see when we first started out, it got kind of tangled. That's what I call grumpy. And that's just the threads aligning and getting in there, right? Correct channels. And then it didn't take long and we had an awesome straight stitch. So this machine is now threaded, primed, and ready to start your projects.